They may be happy, but you see the smiles are gone. It's all reset. Game is right in, and Vayne bans right away against Prototype. Again, no surprises there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell which team had won, but Rux looks a little happier, and you don't usually see that. He's usually pretty calm, pretty level there.
A little more spring in the step right now.
He's got it. So we're going to see the team swap sides here. The Vayne ban coming out first. The Lissandra, they do not want that in Rux's hands. After that performance that he had, and the fact that he was able to solo kill Mach Noon in the top lane early on.
Doesn't happen very often that you're able to pull something off like that. Also, LeBlanc banned away. I feel like it might be a bit tamer of a game now. Warwick off the table. No brainer there, but they've left a lot of jungle picks available here for both Shorter and Nintendo.
They're going to have to ban the Gnar last pick here, unless they want to risk giving that over. And the fact that Lissandra's off the table, you don't have a whole lot of things that can deal with Gnar in the top lane.
That might be the route that they go, but they're thinking about it. No, the Corki ban against Niantan, so that does mean they give the Gnar up, and it's a no-brainer for Fusion. They lock it in almost immediately.
Yeah, Rux is going to have to go with something like an Aurelia or Scion. He could possibly go for a Maokai and then just go for the team fight from here, but they're going to wait on their top lane pick, I assume, and just get some high-priority things. They could get the Lee Sin back in Shorter Ace's hands.
And no reason to really take the top lane right now, absolutely. So the mid lanes they've been taking a while here. Yep, the Lee Sin's locked in. They go for the Janna. Rule 18 does love this champion. He's pretty much played nothing but it Nami in this tournament.
Yep. He's got 4 games of Janna, 2 games of Nami, and they took the Nami away from him last time, very early on, and they didn't prioritize the Janna over it, even for their disengage composition, which was a little confusing. But Glebe did have a great performance on that Nami. He was able to get the bubbles off, but he was kind of the frontliner on the team. We always saw team fights begin with Glebe being focused down. And it was really something that he got punished for because they didn't have a front line and he kind of had to stand in for it.
Yeah, both the supports were kind of beaten senseless that time. I mean, Rule 18, he still had a bit of a problem with the face checks. They did focus him pretty hard. I think they were paying special attention to the previous matches that he was involved in. But I really have been impressed by Final Five's positioning, stepping it up, and just dancing circles around this Fusion team. Now, who he looking for the Zed this time? And this would be interesting. It has been a big one for him.
Yeah, Gate, he still has a lot of options available to him. He's got the Jace still on the table. He could pick in the Twisted Fate, not even that great against Zed, but you know, the fact that they pick up the Zed is not going to harm him or his champion pool.
And the Soraka choice too now for Glebe. We have seen her come back just a little bit.
Yep,
There's quite a lot of movement speed there in the bottom lane.
I think the Soraka is extremely potent right now, especially with the Equinox and setting it up, because it's just a ground zone silence. You force people to either back off of that area or come into you, and in dragon fights, it's extremely good. And then if you get the bind off of it too, it is a really, really potent ability for a support to have. And the fact that she basically makes the bottom lane a 2v1.
Whoa! Gate, no, not even thinking about it, locking in the Azir, and this is something that we've yet to see him play too much of, but I think we expected it.
Well, they also have a Jace at the same time. It could be top lane Azir, but I think it's going to be a top lane Jace, Gate playing Azir in the mid lane. He has been playing that a lot in solo queue as well as Lissandra, so it was kind of a flex pick between them. But I don't know what Rux has been playing for the most part. It could be a top lane Azir. I don't know what it's going to be, but I do think it'll be Jace.
Yeah, over on the other side, Fusion, they take the safe bet. Nian's going to get the Lucian lock-in, as well as Nintendo taking Jarvan, and that only leaves Prototype to ponder his AD carry pick. He's got a lot of choices. Vayne is just not one of them.
Yeah, he could go with the Jinx. He could go back to the Caitlyn. Whatever's going to be able to deal with the Lucian Soraka at this point is going to be his best bet. And I honestly think it would be the Caitlyn, just falling back onto that. But if he goes for the Jinx, it's going to be late game scaling here for this team of Final Five.
It's what they're looking for, and it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. There's so much zone control on this Final Five team. It's a very different style of offense than they had last time. And you know, you called it, Rux. He's looking at the Azir in the top lane to deal with Mach Noon.
Oh, nope. They swippity swap it.
Oh, they tricked me.
Oh, what are they doing?
They still got 40 seconds.
Gonna go back again? No. Regardless of what it's going to be in that top lane, it's just one of those question marks that they're throwing into the game. And Prototype back on that Jinx, a comfort champion for him. He's a little more comfortable on that than he is the Caitlyn. He likes those longer range ones when he doesn't have the mobility of the Vayne available to him. And just looking at the composition all around.
It's a little bit different for him this time too, as he looks to take a summoner spell that we're not used to him picking up.
Yeah. Is Prototype going to take heal? Is that him? Is that Prototype with the heal? Prototype heal? I don't know.
I think it might be, man. That's unprecedented in and of itself, but Fusion, they've got to be taking this one so rigidly serious right now. I mean, nerves might be riding high, but you could see BSIN calming him down. I think they've got this one. It's just
Nope.
it's going to be... No, you don't think so?
No,
you don't think
sorry,
so?
he gamed us.
Oh, did he?
It's exhaust. He took exhaust.
Just messing with us each time.
And then Gate took heal instead of barrier, and then Rule 18 took ignite instead of that. So it's a bottom lane that actually has a lot of pressure, and the fact they took the heal is to deal with the Soraka.
Oh, there we go. We'll see how this game does turn out, but we want to know what
so
you
excited.
guys think as well. Go ahead and tweet us at LL Esports using the hashtag LCS expansion to let us know your predictions, prophecies, and what you think moving forward this game, this set is going to look like.
Yeah, and this game in this series has just been blown. If you have people that aren't watching, they need to tune in right now because Final Five are delivering a lot harder than people thought they would. People thought that they were going to be behind, and they were behind in that game. But the way that they were able to close it out and the way that Fusion didn't close it out is a big red flag for me in terms of these games. I talked with Fusion before. They are not as comfortable on 4.20 as they would like to be. They thought that they were the best team in the game in Challenger on 4.19, but the fact that it's 4.20, new picks come out. People have to learn these picks. You have to be a player that can grab them very quickly. And look at this. We see a bot lane, 5-man here from Fusion, and Neon spots Prototype.
And he's just kind of slowly moving his way on up there, taking a couple of pauses in between, trying to zone Prototype out. And they're actually trying to bait this one. Yen doing his best to look tasty, but a little bit of early game shenanigans from this Fusion side after that last easy start.
Yeah, they wrap all the way around, make sure that they go up. He's going to try to throw it, but they see him.
Oh, they could jump on him, flag and drag. They might have the damage. That is revealed.
They have no drag. They just have a flag.
Gnar Boomerang was a big tell.
Yeah. They just have a flag at this point, no level 2s, so they do get some damage on the Prototype. This does stop them from doing a Gromp start here on the side of Final 5. So Shorter Ace actually getting some wards on the opposite side because they see everybody is up on there in that bottom from Fusion.
They were able to threaten it quite well, but Prototype, he doesn't really lose too much. Does walk on back, or rather recalls on back and gets back into lane just in time. A couple of wards placed across the way, as is the typical start. Nintendo and Uhi actually doubling up here to try and start this one off, while Mac Noon, who had to go back, is heading his way the long way up to the top.
Look at that. It's going to be a Krug start here from Fusion Gaming in the bottom lane. They do have the Soraka, they do have the heal, so even if he does take some damage, they'll be able to trade it out, and you start with 4 potions, and also, on top of all of that, he has that little extra regen because of his starting item with the Ancient Point.
That works out quite well for them. Nien, Tanso, and Glebe Glarbu living the Krug life to start this game off, and Prototype, Rule 18. They're going to grab some CS and advantage for this, but still, that's level 2.
Krug life.
Not quite
Krug life got me pretty hard there.
Just a little bit, huh?
I didn't choose the Krug life. Krug life chose me.
It didn't give him level 2 just yet, so that could be a little bit of trouble going forward.
They shared it. Nia, Tendu looked for level 2.
Oh boy, there was the swag flag. Nia. Nintendo X looking for that one, but Gate, a little bit too quick for him. Does have to burn his flash though. Start this one off, they will get that summoner.
Yeah, goes for level 2 gank there, but that's going to tip Shorter Ace off. That Nintendo has not done his blue just yet, but they did ward that side. And he's going to look for it.
Shorter Ace, he could come in and try and might steal this one. It's about to be up right now, and he's just taking his time about
Nintendo
it.
Doesn't
have this vision on it though.
Oh, there he sees him.
Jungle fight, starting out the level 2, Nintendo X trying to hit him in the back of the head, but I don't think he's got the damage, and Shorter Ace has muscled him out of his own jungle for the time being and stops the blue being taken. Now Gate hitting Huhi with the soldiers.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Gate had the HP advantage there. He doesn't have the mana advantage anymore though, but that delays it. Look at this, Niatanso going a little hard.
Oh, they get the exhaust both ways, and he
He's
actually flashes forward. Prototype, he wants this, the heal is on, and that might have saved his life. Oh my goodness, there's the first blood, and a zap to the back of the head. Niatanso didn't know what hit him.
Glebe didn't block it for him. Glebe still had flash, he could have flashed in front of him, or just walked in front of him. Prototype gets the kill there with the extra damage from Rule 18. This bottom lane just swung hugely in their favor.
Cracks might be starting to show here for Fusion. They are in a little bit of trouble. It's very, very early to call, but a big first blood for Prototype, and that is a massive confidence swing for him.
Yeah, what's even bigger about that is that it forces Niatanso to go back and get a second Doran's blade. So he's going to have a little bit of a delay on his items here, whereas Prototype, way ahead of the curve. Got a pickaxe already, 4 minutes in the game.
Yeah, and a slight CS lead, not really too big for him, but that kill is absolutely massive, you're right. This is going to be a rough lane for Fusion continuing forward. They've got to do the best they can, and Lucian is supposed to be the lane bully in this situation.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing too, is Janna against the Soraka usually struggles a little bit because of the regen and because of the fact that when you trade, she just heals it up, and you can only shield. You can't really sustain your partner. But Niatanso went a little too hard there, got exhausted, got ignited so he couldn't be healed as much from Glebe. Really well played there from Final 5 to capitalize on the mistake of Fusion's bottom lane.
It's a famed synergy here from Prototype and Rule 18. They've really done quite well together, and they actually collectively shot call a good chunk of this game as well.
And when you get your shot caller ahead like that, he's more confident in calling the early game rotations. He has a better stock of how the game is going. Some trades coming out there. Look at that.
Really nice. That rocket poke from Prototype. You can just see he's very, very happy with the way things are working right now. Gate has actually pushed back Huhi in the mid. Well, he actually kind of takes a minute to get a pink ward out, but still, it's been pretty good start here for Final 5. And again, how much does that last game carry over? Now, Prototype, they're going to get some damage onto Glebe Glarbu there. And again, he's got the sustain, but it's not enough to really keep them all completely healthy.
Can't really sustain himself. You can't heal yourself with Soraka anymore. He has to use the Q, and he's out of potions now. So Glebe is in one of those situations where you don't want to be in as a support, where they're focusing you.
Yeah, Prototype, the shields, I mean, he doesn't even need as much of it because they just don't have the pure damage, and he's been able to position himself to where in the end really can't do all that much. Now, here we go. Speaking of positioning, Shorter Ace getting in position to try and pull off this level 4 gank up in the top. Just baiting out MacNoon. Oh, Rux might have telegraphed that one for just a second. You can see.
It might just look like he's trying to feint off that side so he can ward. But it's not a big tell.
Not a massive one.
MacNoon's still going to walk forward.
Yeah, he's going to. Oh, Sonic Wave 1 second away from connecting. And now all is revealed. But Shorter Ace waiting patiently to make that one happen.
He's not going to get punished for it either because Nintendo had backed and just picked up a longsword for himself as well as some potions and some vision with the sights.
Yeah, might as well not worry too much when the other jungler can't really do much out of that one.
They're standing in it.
Yep, they stood right.
But it doesn't matter.
That's done, but yeah, they're able to get out. Again, it's not properly abusing what you've got there now. Nintendo is moving around for Gate, and he might be in trouble. He doesn't have flash from that early game, but he does have a soldier dash.
He also does have his ultimate available to him, the Emperor's Divide, so he's going to be able to stop a Jarvan dead in his tracks and even push him out of his own cataclysm.
Yeah, that's a really massive ult to be able to use in terms of this positionally moving around type of team composition. So to be able to like push like MacNoon and Nintendo away, it's going to be really big for them in the team fights.
That Shorter Ace, he already smited it.
Looks like that one went to Nintendo.
Yep, Nintendo gets the smite on it. Shorter Ace had a Raptor buff on him and was able to see the ward that was sitting there.
Speaking of Shorter Ace, he's going to try to make something happen to the bottom here. Huhi has a rough landing phase to deal with this year, but he has been able to turn the damage on quite well. Yeah. Oh, they're going to 2-man this one. This is bold right now for Final 5. 3-man, excuse me.
They started off.
No one's responding to this one. They don't see. You can see that they've scared Nien and Glebe to a point where they're just not checking out. They think they might have backed on this one. They don't know where Shorter Ace is. This dragon's going quick, and what a sneaky maneuver from Final 5. They're able to pick off this first dragon at 7.5.
Really big pickup there. They got the first dragon in the last game too, but this game, they're ahead early, and the fact that they were able to perform the way they did when they were behind, and now they have this extra gold bump in the beginning of the game from that first blood, it has been made up though from the CS advantages that Fusion have been making for themselves in these lanes, but it means that it's not as rough as it could have been, especially in this bottom lane.
Yeah, Huhi in particular has been making up that CS difference quite a lot, actually. Gate, he does turn the damage on him, but he just hasn't been farming quite as well, and that's a bit surprising.
Nintendo coming into the jungle, putting down his pink ward from before, checking on this red buff. He knows the timer on it. Shorter Ace isn't as healthy and doesn't have as many levels as Nintendo does. Nintendo's on the brink of 6. Shorter Ace still 4. Ooh, right in the face.
Yep, they are going to reveal that one.
Eat that.
But he didn't quite go down. That's quite a lot of health still sitting in his pool. But really nice check from Prototype.
Yep.
If they don't need it for the fight coming up, that's perfectly fine. The Jinx Rockets, they're great.
That's going to secure them their own red, which Shorter Ace desperately needed, because Nintendo, after that first exchange that they had at the blue, Nintendo actually got a little bit of a leg up on Shorter Ace because of the route that he had taken and also the damage he had applied.
That's what you call teamwork, man.
Yeah.
AD carry using the ultimate to help the jungler out.
It's
crazy.
crazy.
That guy on my team.
It's crazy. That's the type of teamwork and synergy that you see, right? As a jungler, you're just like, my AD carry just helped me out at 8 minutes in the game.
Yeah, really, really nice play all around from Final 5. And again, not just on the individual effort, but that teamwork. Now, Shorter Ace looking up for another gank. He is spotted out by the ward. MacNoon will be able to walk away. He's in Mega Gnar form for a couple more seconds here. But he's doing a great job staying safe. But you can see that the priorities have changed a little bit. There's not so much lane bullying going on. There's just a survival mentality here on the side of Fusion. It does seem that they've lost a little bit of that confidence.
Well, when you get solo killed in the top lane, you start taking your opponent more seriously, and you give them the respect that they deserve. That or you get angry and you try to go on tilt, but that's something that you desperately don't want to do.
Well, Gnar gets pretty big when he gets angry.
Yeah, that's true. That might help Gnar out a little bit.
Yeah. I think it's an actual benefit.
Slows him down, though.
Yeah, Nintendo's sitting on another ward now. He's going to eat a Zephyr and bail out of that one. But again, not much for them to take here on Fusion. They've been trying to grab some jungle control back up, keep the vision in their favor, but Rule 18 and particularly all of Final 5 have done such a magnificent job of keeping that side of the map dark.
Yeah. This top lane, though, is something that we have to keep a lot of tabs on because Gnar versus Jace is pretty much an even matchup here. Look at this. Are we going to get the smite?
Might have a smite fight. Oh!
Short Race gets it.
Yep, he's able to pick that one up. Nintendo to step too slow here. And again, Final 5 just evading as much as they can. Wow, they forced the flash from Nintendo. Big there.
Yeah, didn't have his E until right now. And Prototype was wrapping around, so if he had gotten there in time, he might have been able to just throw his Flame Chompers over and then stop that escape. Another thing, though, is the fact that they pressure that blue means it doesn't go over to Gate, so Gate doesn't have it on him. And look at this, Prototype looking for Nian Tanso.
Oh, but
he's looking for the duel.
Him going that way. Yeah, I think he's going to be able to do it. The Flame Jumper's down, forcing the flash away, and they're just burning through all the summoners. So dangerous, and Prototype just taking those risky trades.
And Prototype, very scary player here. Look at that.
Yep, we had to keep tabs. You called it. MacNoon, he might have it. He has a flash. Yes, he does. And he doesn't even land the hammer down. MacNoon walks right out, eating a couple of parting tower shots, but he's fine.
It doesn't get the extra slow, doesn't get the extra damage from the Q. And look at that. That's a solo kill in return in that top lane. And this game,
still very close. Now, Prototype has to be careful. He might have checked a little too far forward. Nian Tanso taking way too much damage as they are able to chunk out Rule 18 too, but their tower is nearly gone.
Yeah, there's a lot more damage on the side of Prototype right now because he has that BF sword and the pickaxe. Look at this, they're pressuring that mid lane. There's no blue.
There's a shorter ace, though. The rocket comes in, and maybe they find it. The kickback, they find Nintendo, but there's the Deathmark teleport coming in. That's MacNoon looking to make a play. Nintendo next, he's down. Gate with the soldier is able to hit him in the back of the head, and they're looking for the shot blast. They get it. Rux with the kill on Huhi.
And at the same time, shorter ace doesn't go down. He doesn't die to the ignite.
They're looking for more exhaust. Oh, I don't think he can get out of this one. Rule 18, the Monsoon keeping him alive. Prototype, can he get the kill? They do give up the support, but they're still getting more. And he get the double. I think he might. He gets the flash. He gets the zap. He needs a rocket. One more will do it. Not enough. The sustain was there for Glebe Glarbu, but they still trade 1 for 2.
Oh, the turret giving him that tiny bit of an extra shield. Look at this MacNoon. He wants more. There's no mana on Gate.
They just kick it into high gear right on now, and maybe he can do it. He's trading for Gate. Maybe he can find him here, but he needs a boomerang. He does get it, and that is going to be 1 kill over to him, but they're looking for more now. They might find it. He does. At shorter ace picking him up. The 1-2 punch every single time. They keep coming back with more.
2K gold advantage immediately for Final 5 off of this just all-around global map pressure and dominance here. That was crazy. Just they flipped a switch and they just went.
Both teams really just kicked it up at least 3 gears there. It was just magnificent play all around the board, but Final 5 coming up with the win advantage, or the kill advantage rather, and really can't fault their teamwork there at all.
Man, I just looked back because I was like, I want to see if they're going crazy in the booth. What are they like? Man, I'd be going crazy after that play. That was incredible across the team. That was almost an ace. It was very, very close to being one, but MacNoon not dying there, and Glebe getting away by the skin of his teeth.
Well, MacNoon doing a really good job of jumping in there to try and defend this one. Now they're fighting over the red buffs. These guys, they're just so hyphy for each other right now.
Yeah, and that's going to be Shorter Ace picking that one up for himself very easily with the smite. Smite versus AD carry. One of those usually wins over the other.
Yeah. Well, and if you have a Stalker's Blade, you can smite the AD carry.
Chillin' smite. Love that. I love that one.
Yeah, that one's great.
Anyway, it's going to be the mid lane here in the sights of Final 5. They have the Azir. He can use his W on the turret and just take it out, but no, it's just going to be Prototype walking up, getting it.
So much siege potential between Azir and Jinx. They just knock down towers incredibly fast from very safe range. They're looking for Dragon here, though.
Exactly, and this is a tower-destroying composition. Jace, Azir, Jinx, they just shred towers, but look at this. They shred champions on Fusion side.
He might get caught, though. Emperor's Divide. I don't know if he's staying alive. That Deathmark will take him down, and they're still on the Dragon. This is a little bit rough right now for Final 5, getting flanked by Nian Tanso with the calling. They're going to jump on MacNoon. Mega Form. They take down Rule 18. The Dragon still regenning, and they just went way too far forward without Gate, and they pay dearly for it.
Gate was out of position, used the Emperor's Divide way too late in that, and he ends up paying for it. And now it's just a 1,000 gold difference between these teams, and it's the first Dragon on, but look at this, they're wrapping around Prototype.
He's going to get dived here. He dove, excuse me. It's already over. MacNoon with a boomerang to the back of the head, and they just bring everybody to the party after the fact. Fusion answering right back with a couple of towers on top of the Dragon.
Look at that, the gold is back to even, and it's actually going to swing in Fusion's favor. They just answered all those kills back, and they're going to get this bottom turret as well. Just an amazing play there off the misplay of Gate, one member of the team.
Just goes to show how big those mistakes can be, even early in the game, and that is that second tower. Nian
Short race is around the side.
Yep. It's still a little bit dangerous. Nian might have stayed a bit. Glebe is still there. Oh, he's not going to land the Sonic Wave. Nice dash from Glebe Glarbu, but Nian Tanso may not be so lucky. He dashes himself, and now they're just trying to get back to the tower, but wait, there's no tower. Shorter Race gets the kickoff, and the red buff will take him down. That Shorter Race looking for more. Safeguard over. Glebe, he's got nowhere to go, or does he? He's got an exhaust. Well, wait a minute. That is already spent up in the top lane. MacNoon, Rux, he's in a little bit of trouble as well. Can he get the solo kill? Yes, he can. MacNoon on a spree, 5-1 on the little Yordle. Glebe will get away, however.
Yeah, Glebe, the great escape artist this game, walking away on Soraka, one of those champions where you don't even have like a reliable source of CC either.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a rough walk away, but he did manage it, and a really, really good play all the way around. So Fusion, they're getting back into this game in style, and they're starting to take little edges here. There's Gate, though he is picking up his own blue buff, but they're giving up towers, they're giving up a lot of edges. They've lost the entire outer ring here.
Yeah, and a big thing in this game is Ruck's last game on that Lissandra was basically the commanding force of the team, the rock that kept them in it. And in this game, it looks like they're going to have to look a little bit more towards Shorter Race and Prototype stepping up. Gate, he's going to have to work on his positioning mid-game here and just kind of get himself out of his own head and just group with the team. Ruck's at the same time, he's got a 5-1 Gnar to deal with in this top lane. And look at this, he might be 6-1 after this.
Yeah, I don't know. Shorter Race is in a little bit of trouble, but Rux is leading the charge right back in on him. Glebe is there as well. It's a 2v2, but they don't know it yet now. They're going to back away from it, and MacNoon just, walking all over that jungle wherever he wants to go.
Yeah, he started just going Randuin's Omen right off the bat to deal with Prototype, who had been getting some damage ahead of Nian Tanso, and also to deal with Rux, who has to get the last Whisper and doesn't even have time to go for a tier into a Muramana. He's going for a different build here from Jace, and look at this. Prototype's actually off on the side there.
Yeah, MacNoon, this guy...
He's getting surrounded.
He doesn't afraid of anything, though. Can he get away? Oh, maybe not. Gets knocked back. That was a brilliantly timed flash right there. Short Race to the rocket. They just don't have enough damage, and now they finally do. They do take him down. They spend a lot of members on it, 4, and they'll be moving up to the top to take down this turret, but they really have been focusing on MacNoon after that.
Yeah, Final 5 has a lot of turret-taking potential. Like I said, the Jace hypercharge. You have the Jinx with the Pow Pow, just getting more attack speed, and then you also have Azir who can use his W on turrets and just destroy them. But at the same time, Hui pushing away.
He's answering right on back. He's doing the exact same thing that Gate was able to pull off last game, although this time there isn't a massive LeBlanc to answer him. It's a Jace, but he still gets the tower. 7-7 in kills on this game, 4-3. It's 17.5 minutes in, and this is looking no less bloody.
Yep, use the W on the turret. Means he doesn't have his escape available for one more second. He's just going to walk straight away from it. His turret's going to provide a little bit of zoning, but also a little bit of extra gold if it gets taken out.
Yeah, they've really got to watch for Hui, though, because if they do get flanked by him and collapsed on by this Fusion team, it's such a rough way to go. You can just get trapped in the Jarvan Cataclysm. We actually haven't seen too much of that this game so far, and we're just kind of waiting on Nintendo to make that big play that does turn into a massive fight for Fusion. But Final 5, they're not keen on giving it to him.
No, they aren't at all. They have some good vision control here for Fusion's side. Waiting for a pick here, waiting to just upset this middle part of the game in their favor. MacNoon, he's going to look down bottom. Glebe, though, stops the back.
Gets the silence on Gate. Nicely done. That's about all they could get in that situation. They are going to send MacNoon to the bottom, as you said. Ooh, avoid the shock blast. Very nice. Rux has been pretty big on this guy, but not quite as big as we saw MacNoon. Prototype clearing out the pink ward in that jungle as they just grab a little bit more vision back into their own.
Hui gonna go get the blue buff for himself. Needs it on the Zed, but to continue this split push. Or at least group up with the team, because he doesn't have boots just yet. He's kind of catchable still despite being Zed. But nobody can really deal with him. It would have to be more than one member, and they've been capitalizing on that pretty well on Fusion's side for actually picking up an objective afterwards.
Yeah, Fusion has played this game out, especially capitalizing on mistakes, so much better this game. Not that they weren't doing it great before, but Final 5, they had such an awesome start in lane, and it just was completely neutralized by these collapses. Now, Final Five will take out the Scuttle Crab. There's 45 seconds on this Dragon. That should be where the next fight happens if they do. Whoa, that Soldier starts to hurt, but they've got Sustain. Glebe going to heal Nintendo back up.
No, you couldn't see the ward, had to stick it back in there. Look at that. 2 soldiers, 2 hits on the pink ward.
That's all you need. We'll be able to clear even more vision away. Now, Prototype hanging around on this bottom side. MacNoon is there as well. Uhi seeing if he can't get a pick off, but he's spotted.
He's not going to be able to get anything for that if Rux plays it safe. Gate still just keeping the siege potential up with his ear. Shorter Ace
going forward. He doesn't actually get the kick. Wow. He was stunned up for just a second. The rocket goes wide to the right, and Glebe is totally fine in the end. Looking to maybe cut something off here. I don't know if they've got it. Prototype. Oh, he doesn't want to get spotted, but he already is. The pink ward. He's going to actually have to dash away from the zap, trying to meet up desperately with Huhi. Final Five is in position here, looking for the fight, and they might be able to just zone them off and collapse them into a corner. Huhi's going to take a zap. He didn't have the Shadow Step just yet. Oh, Prototype. Got to be careful, though. The teleport coming in now for MacNoon. Relay team tag teaming in, but they've already got the death mark on. There's going to be the Monsoon. He might have enough to get out of this one. Shorter Ace leading the charge in the end. They might finish him. He's going to flash. The soldiers are just causing all kinds of havoc. They're staying alive, but not any longer. Nian Tanso taking that one. They also take down Gate. Rule 18. It's a double kill there for Nian. They're looking for Prototype. The Flame Choppers might keep him alive, but Nintendo's still in hot pursuit, and he has no backup here. Rux is gone. This is going to be the 4 for none.
Look at that, Rux. Still trying to run away from this fight, though. Fusion played that perfectly. They were getting collapsed on, and they just stuck it out, tried to avoid the fight until their members showed up. And Final Five, they just couldn't focus. They were all split on different members of the team and tunnel visioned inappropriately.
Yeah, it really just wasn't the right focus. Shorter Ace did everything he could to try to make things happen, but everybody was low enough health bars. We'll take a look at the replay here and how it happened.
Yeah, Prototype gets chunked out. He has to back up, and then at the same time, the TP comes out. And look at that. The Emperor's Divide makes MacNoon go around. But look at this. Nintendo's on Prototype. Shorter Ace is on Nian Tanso. Rule 18's on Glebe. Gate, he's like, I don't know, I gotta go on MacNoon now. And then everybody just kind of got out-dueled or out-skirmished there, in which wasn't a team fight. It was more of just like 4 skirmishes going on at once.
Yeah, and as they kind of run around there, they weren't able to grab too much, but they will try for the Dragon here. It's still a 50-50, but they do pick it up. Very nice, quick maneuver. They grab themselves that second one as Fusion was a little bit too slow to react. So, again, still very much alive in this one, but we might see yet another fight. Oh, here comes Shorter. He gets the kick, but he goes just up there. And that was just to try and beat the disengage. Now they got to get back in formation to defend this tower, though.
Shorter is really good at using that kick, but the people he's been kicking haven't been into the team. And last time he went for Glebe, too. Look at that. Ooh.
Oh, Gate! The rocket comes in a little bit late. They make Nian pay for his positioning right there, and they have a number advantage, but the calling is out. They don't have any mini waves. Prototype goes a little far, has to run his flash immediately. They turn it back around. Shorter Ace, it's Rux picking up the kill, and this might actually go over to Final Five. A big Gnar all the way in there, and Nian Tanso, he's dueling it out with Shorter Ace. They're still hanging around, though. Shorter's going to pick that one up. It's a 1 for 4. Get excited. The double kill on the rocket, and they get the ace.
It's a 5 for 1 off the back of that. They already have Dragon in their pockets. Baron would be extremely risky. They're just going to go for a turret because this team shreds turrets.
Yeah, they were looking at that for just a second. It was a quick one, but we'll take a look at this again.
Great part of this. They already got Glebe off the table. Nintendo goes too far, and Prototype flashes as the Cataclysm comes down, and they immediately turned around. MacNoon comes in. Nobody can back him up because of Emperor's Divide. He can't even back up his own damage because that Gnar came out, but the Emperor's Divide shoved Huhi and MacNoon immediately off of that, and that gave Prototype the distance he needed to just poke and continue that fight as Jinx, and then the get excited for the cleanup. Extremely well executed there. Gate in the previous fight that they ended up losing, out of position. This fight, extremely good positioning by him and Prototype with the flash and the follow-up. Really love that Emperor's Divide.
And I love how they didn't overstay their welcome there. Just knocking down the tower, getting in, getting out, getting done, and they have caught a little bit back up into this game. Gold is still in favor of Fusion. They're still 2 towers down, but they have proved here that they can win the fights when they're ready for them.
Yep, getting that pink ward. It doesn't even stand a chance.
No, 2 soldiers on it. You can't really handle. Gate has been doing just phenomenally well at getting this positioning up, and he's made up for that previous error over at the Dragon. But again, still Huhi to contend with the split push Zed continuing this one, but they're more interested in keeping control of this Baron pit on Final Five side.
Yeah, Fusion likes to 1-3-1 in the middle of the game. It's been working out for them previously, but look at this. They're giving up more objectives. Gate's going to get himself a blue buff. And he's not going with the double Morellos. He's going with the Zonias because he doesn't want to get caught out by this team. Huhi still pushing. They have to answer this.
They are sending Gate back now. He will be able to get back in time to defend. Might lose a tower pretty quickly, though, if Huhi's fast enough. But Gate making his way there. They're actually going to try to collapse on him here in the end. Tanso going to get the culling on. Roulette should survive that one, still just totally fine. Huhi's actually now backing out. Didn't quite get the tower, but he did take a bite out of it, and Final 5 are able to get in position to defend.
Yeah, thing is that Gate is the one to answer Huhi because he has the Zonias. He's not going to get blown up by the death mark, but at the same time, he's also their biggest source of ranged wave clear and kind of like the sieger that they need, because Jace doesn't have like that zoning potential that Gate does, or Jace doesn't have it that Zir does, right? And Jinx would have to be a little too far up and would be in Cataclysm range, and they know his flash is not available, so it would be on Rule 18 to disengage. So it's kind of like this catch-22 where it's like, all right, tower's going to take damage, we'll lose it, and we can probably start a fight with Gate, but if they send Gate, it's like, okay, now we just go even, but we did take tower damage.
Isn't that more of a catch 18, though?
Yeah, I guess so. But they're going to keep moving Huhi back down to the bottom lane because they recognize this, that Huhi's in a really good position as Zed to continue this and try to at least duel Gate at some point.
Well, they've drawn off a member of Final 5, and because of the insane synergy that they all have here, this is definitely a win for Fusion, although Shorter Ace is moving in. Ooh, he's able to step to the side and avoid the Sonic Wave. Could have been bad for him now. And actually, the Baron's being started by Fusion. A very bold move. It's 25 minutes in. They're mobilizing for it. They don't quite have a ton of damage. Magnoon's already in Mega Form. This is a bit questionable. They are going to peel off. They found Rule 18. Speaking of him, he's already down. The end, Tanso picking that one up. And it was all a ruse, but maybe they can find some revenge.
It's the face check there by Rule 18. He tries desperately to get vision for his team, and he gets caught out when he tries to be that team player, but his team is not there to back him up just yet. He's not the frontliner of this team. He needs to wait for Shorter Ace, and Shorter Ace has that Sightstone too, so he's a little safer than this Janna. Rule 18 still not blowing his ultimate though.
Yeah, and Fusion on the other hand has been using a little bit tankier members to be able to do that same kind of goal. Magnoon, it's an item we haven't seen in a while, the Frozen Mallet.
Yeah, so I know another player that loves to get Frozen Mallet. My roommate, Afik, loves Gnar, and he's like, as soon as I get Frozen Mallet, nobody can run away from me. And when I'm tanky, it just adds to my tankiness, and then I just chase people down and rely on the base damage of Gnar, which is actually tremendously high when you get 3 hits on somebody.
Yeah, it's been working wonders for them this time, considering he hasn't built an offensive item since the Doran's Blade start, and that full tank build's working really, really well for Magnon and this whole team. But again, Gate, that positioning in that one fight, it really saved them there. That could have turned on its head had it not been for that Emperor's Divide.
There's Magnon coming around the side, dragging up in 30 seconds. Fusion has Huhi off on the side. He's pinged that he might look for a little prototype here. Prototype up. Yeah, he's just looking for the Gromp.
Gate, meanwhile, is looking for the crab. They do want to try to take this fight around the Dragon, but again, they're not quite in position just yet. Actually, pinging around to see if they maybe want to start this Baron. Oh my goodness, they are going to go for it right now, and this is going to draw the attention. They see Nintendo X trying to zone away, but everybody knows what's up. Huhi's still on the bottom. This is such a risky play for Fusion, but they love checking that kind of thing. Yep, the Shock Blast will go down. They see the Baron is about at half health. Everyone from Fusion peeling off.
Huhi's pushing.
Crisis averted.
Yeah, they're just playing the map right now as Fusion, but Final 5, they don't fall for it. They're going to go immediately middle here with Prototype and Rule 18. Rule 18 has to disengage. Prototype has his flash available. They're just going to get some damage on this.
Yeah, it's the same playbook that they had last time. Maybe they can take a fight here, though. Oh my goodness, the Shock Blast going to connect in. They shred the tower so quickly. Magnoon's trying to make something happen, but his team's not interested in following up. And Azir is already back. Gate trying to save the day on that bottom side. Magnoon, he really wants to force this fight. He's going to go Mega in just a second. He might be able to get the jump on. Shorter Ace kick away. Hello, goodbye. And they're going to try to retreat. Huhi, though, he's going to be able to jump on somebody, but I don't think he wants to deal with this whole team. And he's on the wrong side of the map. Deathmark is down, and he just uses it to escape. The Monsoon keeping everyone alive. The Rocket parting shot. Magnoon will face tank it, and they get in and get out. Final 5 with Guerrilla Warfare.
Man, Nian Tanso messed with the wrong people. He's got a sniper dot on his forehead.
Hey, he does. That's a long one, too.
Don't you even look at the president. Get out of here.
You can't get away from
He's trying to outrun it. You can't outrun that thing.
It's good thing there's no Caitlyn on the other end, but there is a Dragon for Final 5 after all that. They will get that movement speed buff, continue doing what they're doing. And again, Fusion, they can't play this map game against Final 5 because that's the same play that they played themselves last time. They know how that one works.
Yeah, Gate caught out of position, but look at this. Magnoon!
Yep.
He can't deal with
Pushes him away. The Emperor's Divide. You just can't check into him. And he goes down the solo kill for Gate.
Who he can't chase either because the Emperor's Divide was set up perfectly there. Amazing play by Gate. Ever since that first fight that he ended up flubbing because of his positioning. And that is going to be another Dragon falling into the hands of Final 5. They now have that movement speed. That's the third one of the game for them.
And they're able to pick up a little bit more on it. And they're going for the Baron. This is a little bit bold for them too, but it has been a tempting fate kind of day. Nobody has been taking the easy wins out. Prototype just trying to zone away the Flame Choppers. They might have enough damage to finish this one off. So much shred, and it does go down, smited down by Short Arrays. They're going to look for a follow-up fight, but the Baron is now in Final Five's hands at 29.5.
29.5-minute Baron for Final Five. 3 dragons. All the objectives have been falling into their hands, and now they have this extra potential to push these waves out. This is going to be devastating for Fusion unless they get the right team fight for them. Because that was an amazing play there. Once again, Gate doing damage to the Baron over the wall as Azir. It was really big for them because he was, even though he's chunked out, he wasn't done with participating on the map.
Yeah, and speaking of participation, you look across the board, Final Five, these guys, they do everything together. Their kill participation all together is pretty startlingly good all around. They don't really do a lot of solo stuff this game because that's not how their comp really needs to work. On the other hand, Fusion, they've been trying to monster effort individually, but they're falling a little bit short here, and now they're on the inhibitor, and that's just getting chunked all the way down, and they don't even need to find the fight, but they're going to look for Macnoon. Not Mega Hit. There he goes, jumping into the team. He's going to gnar back Roulette Team, the flash Short Arrays. He might go down here. That's Macnoon picking up the kill. Nintendude having to flash back into his own base. Death Mark on Prototype. He's burning out, but the Emperor's Divide, and where did Hui's health bar go? It's a 1 for 2 so far, but they do have the inhib.
They've started to focus down Prototype. Prototype is going to need some extra help here from Rule 18. A Mikhail's Crucible, a QSS on himself, because he's just going to get focused down every fight, because he is their biggest pusher, and he's also the person that they've been protecting the most. But he needs that little extra help from Janna.
He's been trying to position himself really well, even to the point of picking up the Alacrity enchantment on his boots. Same thing for Nien, though. And the 2 AD carries very startlingly different in how they're contributing to these fights. Last time we saw Prototype sitting in the back, taking those Caitlyn pot shots. This time it's Nien just culling whenever he gets a chance and can't really get close to this team as dangerous as it is.
And Macnoon back there, he was looking for the Gnar onto Prototype, but he ended up getting Rule 18 kind of out of the fight and away from his AD carry, so he wasn't able to perform and kind of contribute to the safety of the AD carry in that fight.
Yeah, they've been really needing to try to collapse a little bit more onto that. Nintendude X in particular hasn't been able to get the most cataclysms in the last 10 minutes or so. We saw it a little bit earlier, but they've been kind of falling short, and they need to collapse onto Prototype if they want to take these fights. The sustained damage from Jinx, as well as the burst from the rocket execute, is insane. And look at that tower just melting 32 minutes in. They're almost evening these towers up, and they're forcing Fusion back inside their own base.
Yeah, Azir just chunks towers with his Arise, using the W on it. It's kind of a trade-off because you get rid of his siege potential and you trade his soldiers and like the zoning as well as his escape, but you chunk the turret a lot. They've
just got so much damage here and so much to extend the siege. There's another wave coming. They have to deal with one on top in a little bit, but they're still doing quite all right. No one can get close to this one. Look at that shock blast. Nien's pretty low. They're just going to go for it. They've actually started forcing Hui away. Oh, he can go in. Lee Sin. He might have gone a little too far forward, though, and he's going to evaporate, but they've still got Tower 1. They can get the inhibitor on the back. Oh, maybe they can't. They're in a little bit of trouble here. Macnoon trying to gnar, but he misses everybody. Just moving out of the way. Flashes all down. Macnoon, he's going down as well. Prototype sticking alive, and that is going to be the Monsoon to try and get them in for round number 2. They can start to take down this inhibitor. It's already there. They've got 2. Maybe they can get 3. Prototype, wow, that double kill coming in, though. And they will find this one. This is going to be game number 2. Final 5, 2-0 over Team Fusion. How did that happen?
And they got it. Like you said, how did that happen? Fusion are just all over the map. They're trying to split push, and they don't have to. Final 5 are just grouping up and playing the team fights